Hi guys, Skinsfanatic here. Just a quick reminder before we get started on tonight's show that if you haven't already, please go down the bottom and subscribe to my channel. Throw me a few likes. Be much appreciated. All right, guys, enjoy the show. Oh yeah, it's that time of the week. Skinsfanatic Live. Put your 2 1s up and raise your cups up. Skinsfanatic's back, so prepare to get jacked up. Started out here in the TTC, well, ran for my team. Shout out to the BG. But hold up, cause rolling in like thunder. It's Skinsfanatic Live from the land down under. Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. Hit the like and sub, I got the goods here, boy. All right, welcome everybody. Skinsfanatic Live, week 6, and yep, things are yeah, great. Things didn't go according to plan, last week in a game that most of us had us possibly winning, and look, chances were had, and chances were lost. So yeah, really disappointing outcome in that game. And look, I think where it all went pear-shaped really was, I mean, everyone knows that the Hail Mary right before half-time was a real gut punch in a game that we, seemed we might have been actually getting a little bit of momentum in. And, to have that happen, I felt like, not only deflated our team, but definitely deflated the fan base. And we just can't allow that to happen. And, as soon as it was in the air, I was looking at it and I'm just thinking, oh, man, he's going to catch this, isn't he? Like, I just had a feeling, but I always get a feeling because I am a little bit pessimistic when I watch games. Always got a feeling that something bad's going to happen in a minute. But, yeah. Oh, look. We have to move on.
Yeah, it was another funny moment in Redskin, Washington history there. Well, not history, but, game-wise, like, just, a silly play. And, yeah, it just deflated it deflated everybody, like,
Yep. It did. I had to leave the room. I had to leave the room for a minute. I didn't even check to see, there was a coming back to look at something. It did, in my opinion, it didn't need any looks. It was one of the cleanest catches of the day. We've got Kendall Fuller. He's just standing there looking at it. We've got no one attempting to even put a hand up, just straight in the breadbasket. And
unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, it was a disappointing game. Like, obviously it was one that we thought we could win. It definitely wasn't a shoo-in victory. It was one that we thought we could win, and to see them lose it in that fashion, was very disappointing. Taylor Heineke, he is yet to prove himself when we have the lead or it's a tied game. Like, he needs to be able to make those plays when the game's not on the line. Like, at the end, when the game's on the line, he knows, what to do. But for some reason, he's a little bit hesitant in his abilities in the opening quarter, you know. And I mean, he hasn't had the lead much this year, you know,
No,
basically at all. But you know, there was a moment there in the Saints game where, like, actually, probably we did get them off the field. I believe we made our first opening drive defensive stop this season, and it was encouraging from the get go. But
mm.
then, you know, Taylor Heineke couldn't. You know, he needed to deliver that magic, and that's what he needs to do.
Yeah. Look, his two interceptions, no touchdown game. Um, yeah, it was a dark moment, and like it seemed though he was starting to heat up a little bit. As you notice when you watch Heineke play, he tends to warm up, and it's always like, oh, it's an exciting time. It's like, hang on a minute, he's starting to warm here, and and I felt like he felt it too. Um, and he was putting on a good drive there, and just tried to force that pass to Curtis Samuel in the corner, and
Mm.
he just didn't put enough on it, and
Yeah,
and that was a
yeah,
big play,
yeah.
you
It
know.
was. That was disappointing one to take. But yeah, I mean, look, definitely Heineke has the ability there. Like, even if our defense has been able to make a stop um, at the end there when we were down by 5 points, I think it was 5 or 6 points. Like, when we got the ball, it's another one of those ifs. Like, if we did get the ball back, um, you know, we may have scored.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
There was another opportunity. The opportunity to win the game was still there, but yeah, it's
well, it's
didn't
not until the game
really.
it's not until the game is over do you look back and say, well, look, we fucked two opportunities there to score, because like in that moment you're like, all right, look, fuck, we blew an opportunity there, but look, it's only 10-7, or I don't remember what the score was at the time. Like you said before we started tonight, it was 6 days ago. It's hard to cast my mind back. I haven't watched the game again. I have basically stayed away from anybody who wants to talk to me about it, because
Yeah.
um, that's just me. I get a little bit. I just need a break from that. Like,
Well, we might need R2 Ramy to turn up here with his little notebook.
well, I just got a guide from R2, and he's not joining us tonight. So
R2 is not on the show. What? Okay.
I know, no, he's not joining us tonight. He's prior engagements, um, and he will not be able to take to the air tonight. So it's all right. We'll
Okay.
get through the show without him, and he will make his picks, and he might post them on his Twitter or something. Who knows? But see what he can do there. But yes, what was I saying? Yeah, like it just in the like when the game is on, yeah, like, and what do we look like? We needed to make a stop there at the end, and they scored, and it was like a two-score possession, and there was no time left, and it was like, fuck, it's over. Um, but like when you're in those games, in that fight right to the end,
Yeah.
like it's not till the game's over do you look back and say, oh, well, fuck, in hindsight, Heineke's interception was
Yeah.
costly. We gave up three there at least, and or
Hmm.
whatever.
Yeah. And I mean, other opportunities like where, um, New Orleans go for it on 4th and 1 in their own territory with 5 minutes to go. Like, I was daring him to go for it, and I still will. Because I want to make that stop in that moment, and we didn't make the stop, and it ended up, that was another moment there that could have been, if someone had been strong enough to break through the line and hit them behind the line of scrimmage, we get. got the ball back there on the 45-yard line, and
Exactly.
New Orleans coach looks like a total fool, and
Yeah.
momentum has swung our way, and we might be 3-2.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's little plays and little mistakes and big moments. Those little big moments in games where it's the difference between winning and losing. And like we've been in a few fights this year, but we just can't close it out, and we can't make the plays when they're needed on defense. Really, I mean, without something catastrophic going wrong, like a stupid roughing the pass, a penalty, or
Mm, yeah.
Look, I'm not making excuses for our defense. Our defense has been playing poorly,
Mm,
but I did take a note during the game, and I was kind of like, this is kind of probably there was a moment there I thought this is probably the best all round performance we've put on so far this season. Like we were playing pretty good,
yeah.
like considering. And that sounds funny, I know, because we're getting gashed on again. But like we had made, taken the ball away twice at that stage. We had the two turnovers, the interception from Cole Holcomb and the strip fumble pickup by Deron Payne. Uh, you know, and we'd made a few plays in the backfield, and I thought, this isn't too bad. Like, there's something to work on here. So yeah, like to be in that game and in that moment, and then just crumble to shit again was, it was
Yeah,
disappointing,
well,
man.
I mean, the officials made sure they got in the way again with a ridiculous flag when New Orleans Saints Taysom Hill was hit a millisecond too late, and they deemed it to be around the head when it was totally with the shoulder. And Willie Jackson did everything he possibly could to avoid the contact, and they throw the flag. I mean, that was a ridiculous call.
Yeah, like when things don't go your way, they just don't go your way, and that's
No,
happening. And the
no, I know.
referees,
I know some. I
the
know some
referees,
people think that is a stupid play from Willie Jackson, and absolutely, I was dirty, with him for being the one that got penalised, but pretty soft call, you know.
oh yeah, look, there's a ton of soft calls in the NFL, and look, you look around the league, and
We
it's
know,
not just
yeah,
happening. It's not just happening to us; it's happening all
no,
over the league. I mean,
yeah, we know, yeah,
we're not calling no conspiracies here, or against our team. But yeah, you watch one game that you like dissect each week. Like you're writing every play, every tackle, and every call, and that's the Washington game. And when that's over, you know the other games are relaxing games. They just like sit there and you go, fuck, eh? Oh shit, look at this. Like, oh, that's a shit call. But when you're invested, it's painful, man. It's painful when those calls, go against your team.
yeah.
That's
It,
just
it is,
sport, isn't it?
it is. But and there's a few bad crews getting around.
Oh, no
That's
doubt.
we spoke on it last week, and hopefully we'll get our share of good referees. You know,
Mm.
um, but those other clowns have gone on to referee other games this year, and they're the ones that you hear about at at the end of the weekend. Oh, did you see that blown call in the Cincinnati, Green Bay game? Oh, okay, and then you go check it out. Oh, there's that fucking clown from last week.
Mhm. Yeah,
you
and
know,
that bitch on the sideline. Nah, yeah, yeah. No, I know, I know. It's uh, I mean, you know your crews more than I do, but I'm not getting all John Gruden on this show.
yeah,
Don't worry. But no, it's Oh
yeah, I
look,
do know my crews. Yeah, and
mm,
the ruling was that they are only allowed to referee one of your games during the season. That was a fact. Um, they You might get them in the postseason. Or maybe twice. Sorry, maybe
Mm.
twice. They can do no more than 2 games regular season each crew. You know, the crew up
So
in
the
in
crews, do the crews remain the same each? Like, so you're a crew, and
yeah,
that's the
I
crew
don't
that
know.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
either
why
because I remember
I'm not
last year.
sure.
I remember last year they were like, "Oh, this is the first the first all black crew." Like they were all African American people,
Yeah.
um, and that was like the first time. It was like during the season. I was like, so obviously this is they haven't been a
Well,
crew since
the
week 1 to
ruling,
week.
maybe I got that wrong. Maybe it was the referee who can only be involved in 2 games a season.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the referee might have different crews on different days.
I guess I was thinking what would be better if they had a crew that they were always that crew, or they mixed it up like they do. Because if you
Yeah,
get a crew that's just terrible and they start conspiring
that's right.
against another team,
Yeah,
perhaps, or
you've got to mix it up.
you got to mix it up. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. I mean, we don't want to see that same line judge that we've already had twice this season.
No, yeah, and the bottom feeders usually get the bottom feeding referees too. They don't get the top
Yeah,
notch. You
no,
know,
no, that's
it's the
right.
same in any league around the world. You in rugby league, you get the big ref does the big game, and then we get the bottom feeder young fella at the end of the week or something on a Sunday
Yeah.
who's panics because he everyone's watching him on Channel 9, and
It's
yeah,
just really frustrating because, you know, for those teams that really need to get out there and hit the quarterback, like there's nothing more devastating than when you do, the referee's going to deem it to be, you know, too aggressive and you end up getting penalised for it,
mm,
and it's not, it's not a great moment in the game, that penalty. Like perhaps they
yeah,
could go to a system where they would fine their defensive player if his hit is, too heavy. And obviously the referees can call a dirty play if they do see it. But when
mm,
the rule is any hit over around the head or any hit below the knees or, like shit. You're saying you can't ankle tap a bloke who's about to scramble out of the pocket in desperation? Like it's just,
well,
to
they
the
do
letter
it
of
because
the law.
they take the penalty rather than give away a big play or a touchdown. So it's like holding. It's like, well, you know you don't want to get your quarterback creamed, so you hold him basically, and like it's a shit call, but in some circumstances, it's like, well, you just basically probably saved our season. It cost us 15 yards today, but
Hmm.
if our starting quarterback's down on the ground with busted ribs or something, well, we're fucked. Anyway, let's 3-2 now, so we have to move on from that
Yes.
disgusting, you know, whatever you want to call it, and we'll look forward to playing the fucking Kansas City Chiefs this weekend, and we'll hip hip hooray for us. We get the Chiefs to
Yeah.
to to, to nibble on after that, effort last week. So look, they are calling it the alumni game this weekend in Washington, with all the old alum out there. We're going to wear the throwback jerseys. Well, if you want to call them throwbacks anymore, because we just, you know,
Hmm.
things aren't the same. And on the same day, we are retiring number 21, Sean Taylor's jersey, into the rafters. The third player to go into the or have his jersey retired in this franchise. So you've got Semi Ball, Charlie Taylor, number 49, 33, 49, and now 21, Sean Taylor. A little bit of an uproar today. I must admit, when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, cool, awesome, that's awesome." And then I didn't realise, because me being a bit ignorant, I guess, that people were in an uproar that, "Oh, geez, thanks for letting us know." 3 days out from the game, um, and that's their fault. If you've supported the team and you've sold your Kansas City tickets because you think we're going to go and get smashed, well, you're an idiot and you don't deserve to be there. If you bought your Kansas City tickets before the game expecting to go and watch a 49-45 point shootout between two of the most electric teams in the league, well, then you're shit out of luck. You're dumber than you look. We I saw it all in the off season. Everyone was putting up what tickets they had and what games they were going to, and it was like, all right, you going to the Chiefs game, are you? Ooh, okay, all right. Hey, look, the game hasn't kicked off yet, and anything can happen. But look, I seen Mahomes run around last week like he had his head cut off,
Yeah.
and then just flick it into the end zone for a touchdown. I just looked. I just said, "Oh, we are so fucked next week. Like, we are fucked because he's going to make us look stupid. He is, and
If he wants to, he can.
yeah,
Yeah, he's very, uh, you know, they are talented, and he does know how to manip- manipulate a defense. With his ability to get out and scramble and make plays with his legs. Everyone knows that, but you know they still haven't come up with a way to stop it. He's just a skip ahead of everyone. So yeah, I mean, absolutely, it is a big concern. But getting back to the topic of you know Sean Taylor
yeah,
having
yeah. Getting back to that, yeah.
his jersey number retired. I mean, yeah, it's a great thing. Sean Taylor, you know, legend of the Washington Redskins and the Washington football team, will always, be remembered um, and, appreciated by some. The people, us fans who have gone through these hard times, like, we were the ones who went through it, and we seen what he can do,
Mm.
and he's a great player, and he absolutely does deserve to have his number 21 retired, and a place of memory with the new Washington football team. And yeah, your point about the outrage about people upset that there was only 3 days notice. Well, I mean, if you weren't listening to Jason Wright at the start of the season, he said, he's going to have, there's going to be surprises at the game. There's going to be things to do. He's moved. There's things moving along, and just because you missed out on the Sean Taylor announcement, it is your bad luck. We're only getting 40,000 people there. We only had 40,000 people there when we needed to win a game to get into the playoffs. So those people there are going to have a good time, and they'll tell their friends, like, oh shit, I was at FedEx Field on the weekend. You wouldn't believe it. Daryl Green came out at halftime. Oh shit, why didn't I know about that? Well, it's
Mm.
the place to be. You know, you don't need notice. You don't actually deserve the notice anymore because
No,
you've been so loud in your protest that you won't be going to the games. You don't. I don't know how you can turn around now and expect an invite.
No, and like the six people who complained about it on social media that it was too short of notice, and the rest of them who jumped on and said, "Yeah, that's bullshit." Well, yeah, they're the ones who were saying that they're not going to go to games now anyway,
Yeah,
and it's just a way of complaining, another way of complaining about anything this franchise does, and that's what they're doing. They're just like, oh, and then you've got people like Kevin Sheehan who's like, oh, they missed a great opportunity here to, fill the stadium. Bullshit, man. Ain't
yeah,
no one coming to the stadium, and it's no disrespect to Sean Taylor, but saying to everybody they're going to retire Sean Taylor's jersey isn't
yeah.
going to put a bum in every seat in the stadium. It's just not.
No, yeah.
Like,
And then if they did, they'd have the pride to turn around and laugh at us and tell us that we're all about this about an individual or something like that, or laugh at us because Sean Taylor's our only hope. Like, it's all a big fucking shit show.
oh, it is, and like, and then when the stadium's full of people who were just there to see Sean Taylor's jersey retired,
Yeah,
um, we'll just be the ones who boo us out off the field when we're getting flogged fucking 40-0 at halftime. Like,
yeah. And
you know,
newsflash,
make the day, you know, a complete fucking joke.
yeah, a newsflash here. Like Pedro Taylor, Sean's father, was at the Washington Redskins game no less than 5 years ago, and he was drowned out at half time. There were no people there anyway. You know, don't tell me
Mm.
that everyone's going to turn up.
No, yeah, Pete Taylor,
And
he's
and,
a
and, and honestly,
no,
like,
he's on all the groups. He's on all the Washington fan groups. He's a good fella,
yeah,
Pete Taylor. Yeah.
yeah, he absolutely is. And yeah, I mean, just it's absolutely ludicrous the way that they've carried on like they need to know. Well, I'm sorry, like a lot of people that had given up on the team, and even they're trying to make it worse now over this incident, you
Mm.
know, and then they turn around and say we're trying to lean off a man's tragic death just to get bums on seats. Like, come on,
Well, who said that?
like, oh, well, that's what they're saying on the media, that basically Dan Snyder's using Sean Taylor's as as a prop, something to get bums on seats and take away from the John Green firing that happened this week, that has nothing to do with the Washington football team. Just so happens to be that leaked emails from an executive at Washington, were found, and that's got nothing to do with our organisation at all. It's got nothing to do with Mr. Snyder at the top. He's been Beth Wilkinson has gone through over 650,000 emails, and Mr. Snyder is squeaky clean. So why don't people come down and congratulate, Dan for, not saying anything racist or homophobic? Well, why don't we get awards for that anymore? I mean, he's been dragged through the mud that much, but there is no evidence of him doing anything wrong. And what he's doing and Jason Wright are doing, they've started fresh. They don't need to send out invites to the people who have already given up on them. And
Mm.
I've said before, I'm not being harsh on the Redskin fans who go to the games, you know, or can't go to the games, the passionate ones. But the people who are damp that they won't spend any more money on the club, but want to drag it through the mud. They're the ones who are slightly pissing me off. Like, Anyway, uh, Jason's going to put on a good show for those people there. And the Sean Taylor thing, everyone's carrying on. You know, I'm sorry, but he's not going to come back down from heaven and fucking be there. There's going to be a small video tribute, and Pedro will probably say his thanks, while you guys are all getting your fucking hot dogs and your beers anyway. So
Yep.
you know, it's they're retiring his number. He's not
Yeah.
getting his name put up on the Ring of Honor. It's already there.
Yeah, it's already there. Yeah.
What Sean? Thank you for your service with the team. No Washington football player will ever wear the number 21 again. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Well, I mean, it's going to be good. Like, it's there'll be video tributes, and the fans will have their 21 towels, and good on them. Like, I'm going to have a bloody day of it. That's for sure.
Yeah. It could still be enjoyed
I
from
respect
home.
I respect Sean Taylor. Like, I never got dirty and down on him because we were losing.
No. Well, looking back, actually, the times when we had Sean Taylor, they were actually good times.
Yeah, but we still had a struggle, and Sean Taylor still had to go through the loss, before we were recognised as having a solid defence. You know,
Mm. Yeah. Well, we're going to need a solid defense this week, and let's hope
we
that
are.
the fans that are there, and like I said on my Twitter today, I'm sure there's probably still plenty of tickets left. If you want to go and get them, would maybe
Mm,
rather stop complaining about how it's short notice and go and
yeah,
fucking get them.
yeah.
You know,
I like. Oh no, but I've got things to do on
oh, I
Sunday.
got shit on.
Well, duh. Like, weren't you meant to be watching? Isn't the thing that you've got to do on Sunday to watch the Redskins? You're
Yeah,
tweeting about it every 5 minutes, so you're obviously not doing any fucking thing else.
I know. Oh yeah, but it's a 3 hour commute to the stadium.
Yeah,
Oh well,
yeah,
what are you complaining about then? You weren't going to go anyway, you lazy bastard. If you can't be fucked traveling 3 hours to the stadium,
yeah.
which does
But
sound like a ridiculous amount of
but
travel,
you
but
can save yourself that trip if you just get angry about it
no, it's just
and blame Mister
it's just
Snyder.
putting your
You
chest
won't
out,
have to be there.
beating your chest just for the sake of it, and that's what people do on social media. They just want to have a fucking powwow just for the sake of it, and it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I can't go over to a social media outlet and without it being about seeing something that's just a negative comment and then followed by another negative comment. And I understand, yeah, you're not talking about positive because there's not much positive to talk about, but how about being a supporter? You know,
Yeah,
not a
yeah,
fan, not oh, I'm just interested.
yeah,
Be a supporter. There is a
yeah,
big difference if you listen to the two different terms that I just used. You notice that there is a difference between a fan and a supporter. Okay, I don't need to break that down for you, Crazy Brave. You know what I'm talking about.
yeah. Well, I mean,
It's,
I listen to the head coaches, and I get most of my um, feelings from what the head coach is telling me.
for real.
And his attitude, um, and they're the blokes I'm most likely to support. The ones putting in the effort, the ones
Yeah.
turning up to you know, obviously the head coach has to turn up to training, but he's fighting, he's working his way like no one else has ever won here, or
Mm.
so people tell me. We don't get to celebrate North Turner's tenure here because that was shit. We can't celebrate Steve Spurrier, who actually was better than Chip Kelly and some of those other college coaches. No, he was garbage. Jay Gruden, he's hopeless. Like, isn't it about time that we start like respecting the actual uh, people that are putting in the effort to try and win games? You know,
Yeah.
like we're not going to win every weekend. That's football. Like I'm totally prepared for it. I said last week we're in the nitty gritty of the season. Like it's up and down throughout now for
Oh
six or
yeah.
7 weeks.
Yeah. No, it is. It's a ride. It's a roller coaster ride, and it's we say it every week. I mean, and it's from season to season, week to week, day to day. I mean, you know, you can wake up tomorrow and it's like, oh, fucking, Ron Rivera's been sacked, and you're like, what? It's like, oh yeah, he, fucking sent out racial fucking emails to somebody, or sent a dick pic to fucking somebody. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it just shit can happen, man. Like,
yeah,
and I'm not
that's
saying
right.
shit can happen like our team will wake up tomorrow and our team will be like fucking Super Bowl contenders all of a sudden, but
Yeah.
if
No,
things can
and
change,
sometimes
and
it's shit, you know.
mm,
Sometimes it's shit. We've lost uh, some of the players over the years that we didn't want to lose, you know. But that's
mm,
part of it. It happens, and that's right. Sometimes you can wake up and your head coach has been sacked, or the best free safety in the fucking league has been stabbed in the leg, you
mm.
know. And that's why we do have to support the blokes, you know.
Yep. All right. Well, we might take a short break and a couple of minutes. We'll come back and we'll talk about some of the games next week.
We get a little crazy.
Crazy Brave here, guys. Proud sponsor of Skinsfanatic Live. As promised, I have 5 games here that you don't want to miss. Guys, we went 8-2 last week. We absolutely killed it. 400% profit. Um, lots of happy followers everywhere. All right, we've got a lot to get through, so we'll get straight into it. Uh, First game is going to be tonight's game. Uh, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Philadelphia Eagles. And guys, you're going to take the Eagles with the 6.5 head start and total point score under 54.5. Yes, we are going to be betting against the Rocket Man. So he will be flirting with danger in this one, but it's one that you don't want to miss out on. So take the Eagles there with the 6.5. Second game will be taking the Chargers with a 3.5 head start and under 50.5 total points. This game is Chargers up against the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens, everyone's darlings at the moment, but we are going to stick with the red hot Chargers. Third game will be the Minnesota Vikings -1.5 and over 48.5 total points. Uh, Guys, the Vikings are flying right under the radar and taking on the Carolina Panthers at a perfect time. The Panthers might be on taking a few steps backwards, so we want the Vikings there. And then the next game, we're going to take the ever reliable Green Bay Packers. I expect the Green Bay Packers to show no mercy against their rival Chicago Bears, and here we're going to take them with the -5.5 and over 47.5 total points. And to wrap it up, our last game will be the Cleveland Browns, who are very hungry off an extremely unlucky week last weekend against the Chargers, put up a mountain of points, but wasn't enough. Uh, Look for them to try and control the clock and keep Murray off the field. Uh, Browns -2.5 and over 48.5 points. All right, guys, there you have it. That's Crazy's 5. Good luck this week. Enjoy the NFL and the rest of the show. Thank you, guys.
Great work there, Crazy Brave. Excellent production, really.
Yeah, well, we actually give out winners, and it's worth putting in the time to let the viewers know.
Yeah. Sorry, a little minor technical difficulty there. Yeah. No, and you absolutely nailed the Buccaneers pick today, which was
Nailed it
tick on.
by half a point. Yes, I did. Yes.
So one leg down on the Crazies 5, looking like another successful week perhaps on its way.
Yeah, I mean, if you back those winners there, those 5 winners, put them in as 53, and guys, you're going to just thank me. You're going to be on this show thanking me, and yeah, sending me gifts.
Well, keep it up. You know, I might have to start taking up some gambling myself. Well, of course. I mean, you do a lot better job than me, so
Well, I mean, look, with the help of the expert team that we have here, with yourself and R2 Remu, it's quite an easy job. The difficulty is finding those 5 games that you are assured of, and that that's where I'll step in and I'll take care of that for you and everyone,
yeah.
all your viewers.
There's a game there that you put in your 5, and I thought, wow. I mean, that's a risky game because that could go either way. We'll get to that when we do our picks just in a minute. But oh look, it's the Cardinals game. You know, Cardinals
Yeah.
Chargers, is it?
Well, I
Yeah,
can tell you behind the scenes, the staff are just frantic. Like there is paper being thrown around the rooms. There's picks are being torn up and then redone. It's it's not really a glamorous um, you know place sometimes, especially on a Thursday morning. But we always make sure that we give you the best 5 games.
yeah. I bet. I bet it's a frantic office.
Yeah.
Lots going on. All right. Just trying to bring up our leaderboard here. Oh, there it is. It's a tough maneuver, this old Super Brew, sometimes it is. The old computer. Um, yeah, so as we see, we. Oh, there you go. There's the leaderboard. As you can see, Crazy Brave. Ooh, he's getting well, Rudskins is pushing him a little bit, but still, got a handy little lead there. So
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah,
not
no,
bad.
Rudskins did well to get that yellow cap off me. He did well because I have been pretty hot of late.
Yeah, oh, big effort from Rudskins. His inaugural season here on Super Brew, uh, getting that gold cap, that long sorted uh, gold cap. There's last year's champion, Paradise, aka Magnificent, with a spoon. So I don't know what he's doing, but not picking winners, I guess.
Well, definitely not on a Thursday night. He gets Thursday night jitters. He's obviously a busy man throughout the week, and it's slipping his mind.
Yeah, no doubt. As you can
Mm.
see, Skinsfanatic.
Because he's a lot better picker than that, isn't he? But yeah,
Well, he won it last year, so
yeah,
last
he's
year's
not
champion.
playing. Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
So there it is. So we can, if you're ready, time to
I'm
show
ready.
us your tips.
Oh yeah, oh, I like it. I like it.
Uh, all right, we're going to start off in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. The winless Jacksonville Jaguars up against the Miami Dolphins. This is a Jacksonville home game. Um, I got a feeling, that Jacksonville's going to win its first game. Did
Jacksonville
you get
at Lions. Did you say Jacksonville versus the Lions in Tottenham?
no Miami Dolphins
Oh,
at the
Miami. That's
Jacksonville
right. That's correct.
Jags
Sorry.
in
Yes.
London?
Yeah.
I've got a feeling that Jacksonville is going to get its first win here. Miami, I don't know what they're doing anymore. Miami, they have been appalling. You thought a team they were on the rise, and they might come on strong towards the end of the year, but I don't think Tua Tagovailoa is their man. Of course, he is out and hurt, and they've got um, Tony Brissett at quarterback, which is not helping. But yeah, I don't know where they're going. Miami, Jacksonville. I think this will be the game that they get. Um, Jacksonville will probably be picking first next year. Miami probably second, followed by us at third. Who knows? But I got Jacksonville by 3 points in this game. A field goal, possible overtime game.
It is the ultimate uh, tipster's prize. This one to predict the Jacksonville Jaguars' first victory of the season, and yeah, I mean you put it on the line. Unfortunately uh, for you, your timing is a little bit off at the moment. You're thereabouts. You know what's going on, but you in some cases you're a week ahead of yourself. Um, I've got the Miami Dolphins by a score of 4 points in this one.
Okay, so well, we won't spend too much time on this shit show, but what's the reasoning behind you don't think Jacksonville's ready this week?
Oh, I think Jacksonville had a high chance with uh, Trevor Lawrence. He's one protected species at the moment. Everyone is rooting for him to do well, and fair enough. I mean, that's the way it should be in the NFL. I mean, we've got to give these young blokes time. So don't get, that's a good thing. And I do believe that Jacksonville will get a few favourable calls in this one, but he still has their quarterback Lawrence. He still does have trouble with uh, his placement, and I think that the Dolphins are just a better defensive side. I like their defensive backs, and I like them getting in the way of some big plays this week.
Okay, fair enough. All right, moving on to our game, Kansas City Chiefs at Washington Football Team. Um, Washington by one, because if we're going to win, it's going to be by 1 point. It's not going to be by much. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's right. And I have a similar thing. That's right. The Washington football team is probably costing the Super Brew tipping competition as a whole. at this moment. But I'm not going to sit here and tell it bad luck for missing Sean Taylor's game and then turn around and tell everybody that I'm going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs. That's not going to happen.
No.
I've got the Washington Redskins the Washington football team by 2 points.
Yeah, I'll take either one of those. Trust me. All right, the Los Angeles Rams at the New York Giants. Giants only one win on the season. Rams winners last week. Um, don't know the status of Saquon Barkley for the Giants because he did get carted off last week with a high ankle sprain. They're quite serious injuries, so I doubt he'll be playing. Um, you don't get carted off and then play next week. It's rare to see that. So I'm just giving the Rams a slight advantage here of 6 points in this game. I hope it's more, but covering myself here for the
Yeah,
Giants to possibly show a little bit of heart at home, but we'll see.
yeah. Look, Saquon Barkley is one tough dude, and I like the way he plays. The report is that he probably missed this game and will only be out 2 weeks, but I really wouldn't be surprised if he toughens up and goes out there for the Giants, uh, which in the end won't help them. The Rams will be too explosive, and Sean McVay is going to call up some. He's going to have a nice play calling game. He's seen the Giants. He knows the Giants. Yeah, not this year's Giants. I mean, they say that all the time. They know this. They know that. Brother. But yeah, I mean, more importantly, he knows the football field and what it's
Yeah,
like to go into the stadium. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm going to back the Rams by 10 points.
yep,
I've given the Giants plenty of props this year. I've backed them with the head start and in the tipping comps, you've seen that. But yeah, the Rams are just too good.
yeah. No, I agree. Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts. Well, Colts, man, only the one win. Texans with the one win. Um, but I just, the Colts to me are a much better football team than Houston right now, and the Colts have been lucky in a few games this year not to win. Um, Looking back at their results, I mean, losing to Baltimore by 6, losing to the Rams by 3, you know, Tennessee by 9. Excuse me. Um, yeah, I've got them winning this game by 13 points. Houston's. We talked about the first pick in the draft this year, and it could also be belonging to the Houston Texans. So
Well, it could. That's right. I mean, they're trying hard. They've kept themselves in some games. Indianapolis Colts have got off to a slow start, and they're right where they wanted to be. Really, I mean, everybody counted them out after a couple of weeks. Like this is Frank Reich coaching the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, he can come back from 35-0 in a playoff game, and forget like 0-2. You know,
mm,
um, all of a sudden they're the talk of the town, the Indianapolis Colts, and I am a little bit wary of this one because of Houston's ability to, keep in the games. And they've got a young bloke throwing some passes for them now. I think his name's Mills. We've had to put in a rookie. Um, yeah, but, when it comes down to the crunch, I think I'm going to have to put the Indianapolis Colts on paper by 6.
yep, You could have added that one to Crazy's 5. It's almost a certainty, but
Yeah, but
maybe there
the
wasn't just not
Indianapolis
enough
Colts
juice in it.
are 11-point favourites,
Mm,
and I just don't want to take Carson
yeah,
Wentz with
yeah. I mean,
to
look, it's hard to predict a double-point victory, a double-digit victory in the NFL.
yeah,
It is. It
yeah.
can be. It can be hard. So, good point.
Well,
Since
we will see. I mean, it's all out there now in the big worldwide web.
Cincinnati Bengals at the Detroit Lions. Cincinnati really playing some good football this year, and they were unlucky last week not to beat the Packers, and I had them beating the Packers, man, and then I, you know, saw that like the Bengals kicker missed like four fucking field goals that would have won the game. Oh, I was really close to picking that one.
Hmm.
So very unlucky not to be 4-1 right now. The Bengals really, but their stupid kicker missed the kick. But
Yeah,
they will beat Detroit this week um, at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. They will beat them. I've got them winning this one comfortably by 12. Yeah, Detroit, another poor team. Poor Detroit.
absolutely, poor Detroit. But before we go on, I mean, that's what I mean about you being a week ahead of yourself. Now, look, this pick, um, your Bengals pick, that's fine. But yeah, you were so unlucky last week with the Bengals and the Browns, and I believe the week before uh, you were a week off predicting that the Bengals were going to lose their game. But anyway, yeah, will the Lions show some heart, like which they have for 4 or 5 weeks now? And everyone's kind of expecting that, oh, is this the game that just turn up and go, yeah, we're the Lions, we fucking stink and we're fucked and we got flogged and just give it up? Or are they going to fight against the Bengals team that they can beat?
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I like the way the Bengals are playing. Like you said, you know, uh, unlucky against Green Bay, their kicker. He gets the too much salt in the pound cake award this week, and yeah, but I'm going to go the Bengals by 7, a touchdown. Bengals by 7.
Yeah. Well, don't also forget. I mean, the Green Bay kicker, he missed about three kicks himself. So
Yeah, there was yes.
it
No,
was a
that's
back and
right.
forth kicking, back and forth, terrible kicking display.
I might have said something wrong there. Yeah,
Oh yeah. Well, it was a classic.
I might have meant to say the Packers kicker. I can't remember. I can't.
Oh,
Yeah,
they both missed like
yeah,
multiple kicks at the end of the game,
yeah.
and it's crazy. Okay, but speaking of Green Bay, they are here on the road um, against the Chicago Bears. Man, this is the Bears. Hey, they come out last week and they beat the Raiders, and Justin Fields, got his team right now at 3-2. Like the Bears, I just don't know what to take from them right now. What are they going to come up with? Hard not to go past Aaron Rodgers, but this is a division game. It's in Chicago. These two teams despise each other. I just, I'm going to go stick with A Rod because he's my man. But 8-point victory from Green Bay for me. But did the Bears, did they know something last week? Did the Raiders know that their season was about to implode a day
No,
later? Or
the truth is that the Bears are actually decent with Justin Fields.
hmm,
And his couple of cameo appearances, the the game plan really wasn't drawn up for him. But yeah, they've got a lot of support behind Fields, and yeah, he might do something this week. Um, but you know, but you know,
It's always a
crazy
but.
brave. He's backing the veteran A Rod, like you said, Aaron Rodgers. Why not? I mean, I'd like to see the Bears put up a fight. This game is going to be pretty good to watch, and you know, um, if Crazy Brave is lucky enough to cover, it's going to be on a late touchdown. It's not going to be. I don't think the Packers are going to win by more than two scores. I've got the Packers by. Uh, I've got them by 8.
Yeah, I've got them by 8 too. So
Yeah,
there you go.
and definitely got them covering the 5.5 point spread.
Yep. That one's in Crazy's 5, isn't it? Bears and
Yeah,
Packers.
yeah,
Okay. And I know this one is Los Angeles Chargers at the Baltimore Ravens. Going to be a great game to keep an eye on. Um, I won't be keeping an eye on it. I'm keeping an eye on the ticker during our game. But yeah, Baltimore, Baltimore. They have been in some of the most craziest games you've seen in their first 5 games or whatever. It is just ridiculous. Like you break it down here. I mean, last week, yeah, they beat the Colts by 6. Um, but the Raiders game and the Kansas City game and the Detroit game, when the kick went doing over the 66 yarder,
mm,
okay, yeah, they
yeah,
beat Denver by 16, and then the comeback last week against the Colts. And now they get the Chargers, who were, no softies at all, only losers of 1 game this year. Man, I didn't want to be. I know what you said, and they're everyone's darlings right now, and I didn't want to be them. I can't go past them. I'm going to pick them by 3 points. I think their defense might be, just a little bit too much on the road for Justin Herbert, and Jackson's playing, at an MVP level right now. So I'm going with the Ravens by 3.
yeah. Look, the Chargers face their second consecutive AFC Central side. Last week, the Browns came into SoFi and really gave the Chargers fucking a tough game to win. They had to be on song, and yeah, the uh, who's the who are the Chargers playing? Forgotten their opponent.
Ravens.
The Ravens, yeah, of course, yeah. As you said, like that, the Ravens team, yeah, they've had exciting victories, and whereas the Chargers have had many tough games, and I don't know what's going to be the breaking point here. Will the Chargers continue to score points like they have been? Um, I'm going. I have to. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to stick with the Chargers on this one. I don't trust. I still don't trust Baltimore. 2 of their wins were comebacks. Where they
Mm.
were down and out last week. Um, Jackson, he's a little bit better than Taylor Heineke, but he's also got the same issues. He can't start a game, and yeah, I'm backing the Chargers. It's on Crazy's 5. This one's going to go either way, and it's going to be a very interesting one. Chargers by 6.
Yeah, it's not a bad pick at all. It's not a crazy pick to pick the Chargers. at all. Okay, Minnesota Vikings at the Carolina Panthers. Um, yep, I'm going with Carolina in this game by 10 points. I think Carolina, despite losers of the last two, um, still have still have the goodies. Playing some good football. Look, 3 point losers to the Eagles, and they got pretty much flogged by Dallas. But yeah, look, they've beaten the Jets, the Saints, and the Texans. It's not like they've beaten every great teams, but I like them this week against Minnesota at home. I've got them by 10 points.
Yeah, that's the big test for Minnesota this week is the fact that it's on the road. Um, Carolina's been very strong at home, and they've got mad support. But I'm going to back the Vikings. I like what they're doing. I'm waiting to see Dalvin Cook 100% healthy.
Hmm.
I think he was rested last week. He may come back in and have a bigger role. Uh, Panthers seem to be slowing down a little bit. I've got them in crazies by. I can't back down now. I've got Vikings by 3.
Yeah, it's funny as we just went through that. I was kind of thinking, actually, mm, Carolina possible fool's gold. Haven't beaten anyone, notably
Yeah, they're
spectacular.
very strong at home.
Yeah, they are, and that's I take a lot into that home and field advantage stuff when I make my picks.
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, they pinched half of our fans.
Yeah, they did. Um, Arizona Cardinals at the Cleveland Browns. Arizona 5-0. Cleveland, as we said, very unlucky last week. And that game, 5 more minutes the other way, it would have been, a Cleveland win. That was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Oh,
Every time I
crazy was
looked up,
shaking in his boots.
it was someone else had the lead. I was like, oh, geez, what's going on? Crazy. But once again, I'm giving the home field an edge here, and I've got Cleveland winning this game by 2 points. And it's going to be like 35-38. Like Cleveland put up some points, man, and they got to get Odell Beckham the ball this week. He's been a bit of a forgotten man out there in Cleveland. So yeah,
Yeah, he has been. Still struggling to work his way in the offense, but the Browns get the ball. They get the ball to all their players.
mm,
Um, you know, and pretty smart with their football of late and have a strong defense. And as I've been saying now, this week, third week in a row, the Browns are hungry. You can see it in their belly. If you can see through anyone's belly, you can you can see it. But they've got a desire to win this year. The Browns. I don't know if it's going to be crushed. It will be if they have losses like they did last week continually. But this is a chance for them with the undefeated Arizona Cardinals coming in to Cleveland. It's going to be pretty crazy this weekend. Yeah, and I've got the Browns by 6 points.
okay. And we've both got Arizona copping their first L of the season. This one's going to be interesting. You've got 2, 3, and 2 teams. You've got a division matchup here. The Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos at the Denver Broncos. And we all know the news this week about John Gruden resigning, and a lot of shit going down now, and it's got to be a little bit deflating for a Raiders team that started the season so well, and we're looking like a team that would might be up there at the end, and they still could. They still could, but losing John Gruden, a massive football mind from that team, that franchise is a big blow for them, and it's hard to respond sometimes to things like that. Do they come out and lay the wood, or do they come out and succumb to all that shit? So I'm taking Denver in the mile high here by 2 points in this game.
Yeah, I'm bit saddened by the whole Gruden sacking. He may have deserved to have lost his job. That discussion can be had elsewhere. Um, I'm going to back the Raiders this week for to do this one for John. Um, I'm backing Derek Carr. He's got the ability to get it done. Good quarterback can out trump a good coach. The NFL is going to move on. Unfortunately, it happens in the NFL. It's the it's the sport that I follow, and if they've got rules, um, then they've got to be followed. And if people aren't following the rules, like they have to go and would will be replaced by someone else who I will support too. I mean, I hate seeing good blokes go down. Um, you know, I'm I do not call John Gruden a racist, a homophobe, or a misogynist. He's just a dude who said some bad shit, and if people want to put him in, lock him away in a little tidy square, and say there's a racist. Well, I mean, I disagree with those people, but um, you know, he did the wrong thing. He's gone, and this week I'm supporting the Raiders. Because I want to see them bounce back and shrug it off. So Raiders by 6.
Yeah, all right. Should be a good game. Dallas Cowboys at the New England Patriots. Yep, Dallas flying high after losing in week one in that great game against Tampa Bay. They have then rattled off 4 consecutive wins: 3-point win against the Chargers, 20-point win against the Eagles, 8-point win against the Panthers, and a 24-point win against the Giants last week. Gonna go into Foxborough here at Gillette Stadium and lay the wood on the New England Patriots by 20 points. My blowout of the week.
Yeah, I know you probably spot on right. The Cowboys obviously hot property. New England Patriots um, obviously have so much respect for the winning seasons that they've had, and this one's going to be a bit of a jaw dropper for around the league. People who aren't keeping up and think that Bill Belichick and the Patriots are still, relevant. And fair enough, they are. They're a good side. You know, we know what they can do. But yeah, it's over. I said it last week.
So,
Uh, you know, and
mm,
I expect the Cowboys to actually embarrass um, Belichick this weekend and the New England Patriots. And it's a shame. I wish it would be, my team or one of the other teams that have had the opportunity. But yeah, Cowboys can sniff it, and they're coming into New England. And no, New England aren't world beaters anymore, but Cowboys will send another message just for the fact of the name. The New England Patriots hasn't been beaten by such a convincing margin in so long. Yeah, I've got the Cowboys by 15 points.
yeah, yeah. I think that's a pretty safe bet, to be honest, because yeah, it's New England's done, man. They had a good run, and we know now that it was it was Tom Brady who did all that. And not saying that Belichick isn't a good coach, but I mean, maybe without Brady, he wouldn't have been such a good coach.
Well, over the last 15, 16 years or 20 years that Belichick's been there, he probably would have won maybe a Super Bowl without Tom Brady. You know, yeah, he is a good coach.
Oh yeah, I mean, like he would have had some, but he probably would have been fired in the last
Yeah,
20 years
that's right. Yeah,
because
no, coaches do
you
get
know
fired.
he didn't win enough Super Bowls. So.
Yeah, get out.
Hmm. Um, Seattle Seahawks at the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we all know that Rusty Wilson isn't playing for several weeks. They call it several weeks. I don't really know what that means. 3 to 4, maybe.
6 to 8.
Uh, 6 to 8.
Yeah,
Several.
6 weeks.
Yeah,
In 6 weeks' time, he will take on the Washington football team.
he'll be back for us. Excellent.
He may
Yeah,
be.
he may be. And they have what's his name now playing quarterback, Geno Smith. I didn't even know he was still in the league. But yeah, he's playing. He's starting now for Seattle. So I've got Pittsburgh in this game by 6. Geno Smith. Maybe he'll be a late bloomer, but as far as I'm concerned, can't play, mate. And yeah, Pittsburgh will be back to 3-3 after this weekend with a home victory over Seattle by 6.
Yeah, I'm also taking Pittsburgh Steelers. Um, Seattle Seahawks are going to be a hard team to judge with Geno Smith and a quarterback who, you know, will probably have more of a drop back technique than someone who's going to get out of the pocket and make plays like Wilson. I mean, Wilson's unpredictable. He can escape and make plays and you know, also make bad plays. I mean, he's won more football games than he's lost, but now Seattle go back to the very beginning, and Geno Smith isn't Russell Wilson, and Mike Tomlinson is one of the greatest coaches, and he'll have his Pittsburgh Steelers ready for this one. Steelers by 6.
Yeah. Yeah. Another one. Zach is the same as me. Okay, what is going on with the Tennessee Titans? Buffalo Bills at the Tennessee Titans. Titans, I mean, they're 3-2, but they just have lost a little bit of mystique from last year. I mean, Travis Henry is an absolute monster. Um, but, you know, dropping a few games, Tennessee, that they, you know, probably shouldn't have lost, like to the Jets. Now, they got towered by Arizona, but, you know, they've beaten the Colts and Jacksonville. Look, I still think Tennessee is a good team, and they'll probably stick around and be there towards the end. But yeah, I'm picking Buffalo in this game by a score of 19 points. It's Buffalo, you know, a great team and can score the ball.
Buffalo are going very well. They're actually going a little bit too well. Crazy. Could have gone 4 out of 5 and won a little bit more money, but the Bills just put up way too many points last week. Yeah, they're hot, you know, and it's not even hard for them to come out and put in a consistent, good performance. You know, it's second nature to them now. And yeah, they're going to be too good for Tennessee. Got the Bills by 10.
Yep. Okay. That's the Monday night game. So should be a good game.
That's the Monday night one, is it?
That is Monday Night Football. Buffalo's Tennessee. So. And also, let's not forget that is the replay of the Music City Miracle
Yeah,
Um,
what a game.
so I'm sure we'll see references to that during the
Yeah,
broadcast.
yeah,
Absolutely, every time those two teams come together, they'll always bring up that play.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. No, it should be
no,
a excellent weekend. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing the Chiefs come into the old Redskins stadium, and it might have created a bit of a social media talking point about, oh, they're allowed to do this and that, blah blah blah. But I hope that the Chiefs fans do come in and cheer loud for Sean Taylor when he's inducted, and if they want to do their tomahawk chop, let them do that. Like that's their thing. We're going to have our thing, and it's not the tomahawk chop. So I'm not going to get upset with Chiefs fans doing the tomahawk chop or their little chant in our stadium, because there'll be 10,000 Chiefs fans in there making a bit of noise.
mm,
It's going to be a fun day, like you know, and we might actually be able to move on from all of this shit if things are handled right. But I probably do doubt that. But
I, I
it could be a good moment for everyone.
I think it's funny how all the fans who want to be like the Red Wolves and all this shit. They want to talk more about how our new name next season than what's going on the field this year, and they're all like, "Oh, could you imagine 75,000 people howling like wolves?" And like 75,000 people howling like fucking wolves. What you think
Yeah,
because we're going to be called the
yeah,
Red Wolves, all of a sudden we're going to have 75,000 fans in our stadium?
yeah,
Is that what's
no,
going to happen?
yeah,
You're going to
no,
get more excited about um, a new name and a logo on a helmet than supporting the team and howling like fucking wolves. You fucking idiots have been howling like fucking I can't say the word, but howling like women on social media and fucking carrying on like absolute idiots. Howling like fucking wolves. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
I'll
Well,
wait.
that's
I'll
right.
wait to see, eh? Like
We have to wait and
it's just
see. There's no
ridiculous.
there's no name that's going to add 35,000 people to the stadium. Absolutely
No.
correct. Um, if the 25,000 people at FedEx Field now are actually all for the Red Bulls, then I am for it. But I don't really want to get into a name discussion talk, because I know what type of shit fight it's going to be. We haven't
Yeah,
even started. We haven't
I
even
just wanted to
started.
keep it simple. I just
Yeah, no, we are keeping it simple. Like,
you
but
brought
yeah,
up the tomahawk chop, and I was just
yeah,
thinking like
no,
these people
I
they want
agree
to
with
howl
you.
like wolves.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I mean, start howling now. You know, do it now
Do
if
something.
you want. Let it be
Yeah,
known. Like, if the Red Bulls are going to be that loud and dangerous, like, why can't we start it now? You
yeah,
know, fuck.
exactly.
We,
Why
we,
if
we
everyone's all
need
for
someone
it,
to tell us.
if
Yeah,
everyone's all for it, let's start hearing some fucking howls in the stadium. Let's go.
yeah. Like, that's
Because then
right.
other people might be like, you know what, that's pretty dope. That is dope. And Snyder might be like, shit, this is pretty good. Maybe we should, maybe we
Yeah.
can start something.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, the position that they've put themselves in by not naming the team is going to leave all this kind of shit open for discussion. But we all know that it's the smartest way to do it and the best way to do it. I mean, if Mr. Snyder had come out last year and said, no longer the Redskins, we are now you know, the Whales. Um, Everyone would have just been like, oh fuck. It would have. I mean, it's still going to be a shitstorm anyway. But look, we've moved on from that. Like, Snyder made the decision to change the team. It is for the best. Whether we're getting away with being called the Redskins this year or last year, and Chase Young's making 20 sacks and we're winning Super Bowls, the name is still going to come under question in a couple of years' time. So the Bullets, we've bit the bullet, and we've moved on, and we're getting a new name right now. All we need is, I think they're looking just for some support, in the stadium. And the people who have been at the game, they're doing a good job. They're doing the best they can. I'm not upset with them. I'm not really upset with anybody because I'm over here, like in Australia. So I'll never get to a game. But, when I see FedEx Field packed out with Washington fans, it's one of the best things going, I do want the fan base to build up, but it's I've seen what's happened, and I understand now it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. That some of these people have given up, and they're not worth fighting for to get back. To be quite honest, I mentioned that.
Yeah, Tony says we should go to a game and howl like wolves, and like
Well, it is the Red Wolves.
I don't want to be
Yeah,
there. The only one howling like a wolf. I want to. I'm just saying, if the people were so for the name, the Red Wolves, and they will say, "Oh, could you imagine 75,000 people howling like wolves?" And we can't even fill the stadium anyway.
yeah.
Well, let's get the 30,000 fans that are there who want to be called Red Wolves. Let's start hearing some howls, like when they said, "Oh, everyone's gonna sing Hail to the Redskins." Like, oh, I haven't heard that.
No,
You
that's
know,
right. Haven't heard that. There was promises of there was going to be like "Hail to the Redskins" was going to be sung during week one. Didn't hear it.
no,
Um, you know, and then the same people are talking about how they're dirty. That there was only 3 days' notice on Sean Taylor's jersey retirement. Fuck, like
hmm.
they're not going to be there anyway.
No, they weren't going to be
You
there
know,
anyway. But they just want to complain. They have to complain about the owner and this franchise, and
yeah,
it's their thing to
yeah,
do now. It's
yeah,
rather than support it, they just want to keep continuing to drag it
yeah,
down
yeah.
and beat the living shit out of it. And
Well,
those
the new
people,
angle.
like you said, Pete, Crazy Brad, those people aren't welcome anyway. So that's
Yeah,
why they didn't get the invite.
that's right.
And if you
That's
sold
right.
your Kansas City tickets,
Yeah,
well, then you didn't deserve to go anyway. You're a fucking idiot.
yeah. And for those people who are still interested in the team but didn't buy a ticket, they've got 3 days to get one. You know,
That's right.
so and look, it's. I hope Jason Wright keeps up the surprises. Unfortunately, he had to make a public apology because everyone fucking howled so much about it. So he's ended up having to make an apology to 15, 25,000 people who weren't going to be there anyway, just social
Mm.
media pictures, as you said, um, where, people stepping in on his fucking good shit again, man. Like, don't, if you were such a big Sean Taylor fan, then you would still care about the football team that he played for, and you would still be there at the games, you
That's
know,
right.
because,
That's right.
when we do win that, hold up that championship trophy, Sean Taylor will be in your memories, you know?
Oh,
So it just it really shits me, some of the attitudes that they have. And, I don't want to be on here bagging them, because the last thing I want is, for the people that I support to think I'm a fucking idiot, but I have to tell it the way it is these days. You know, I'm watching it from overseas, and it's fucking
Oh,
glaringly embarrassing.
it's embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing. And James JB mentioned it at halftime. You know, of the Saints game last week. He said, "What happened to this franchise and this stadium? This stadium used to be like, I know even when you go back to the early FedEx Field days, like that stadium was still rocking. Okay, and arguably yes, it was an RFK, and there'll never be another RFK stadium, and I get that. But if you watch, and we've got all those, the games on tape, and we've got them, some of those early FedEx Field games, like the fan base was still engaged and they were rocking. The place was rocking, and now it's just like a fucking morgue. You know?
Yeah, and look, one of the things that we had to deal with as fans and um, was the Dallas Cowboys. You know, going back to back straight after we won the Super Bowl and almost three-peating, and that has played into the psychology of some of the fans too, because they were fucking tired of that shit, man. Like that 19. By the time we even got to the 1999 season where we finally won the NFC East again, it seemed like an eternity.
Mm.
Like fucking Jacko had already given up. It's like it only takes a couple of years. Like I'm out of here,
Mm.
and it just. I mean, obviously, the fans just need to turn up, don't they? I mean, why is it so upsetting to put in a good effort? And obviously it is. No one likes a crushing defeat, but and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that we've had all these teams that should have won the Super Bowl over the years, but fuck, man, we had a team that used to fight. And they still do. They still do. They put out the effort there for us, but we had a team that used to fight, and we used to get noses rubbed in with fucking shit by the officials, and then ESPN, and then the whole league, and it just manifests. By the time the
Yeah.
players run out, they're feeling it too. They're like, oh, we got no support here. Shit, I was actually hoping for a bit of support this week, but
Mm.
anyway, we're down 7-0 now. Heads are down.
Well,
Just
Snyder should just like say, you know what, we're going to go back to no fans. you know,
yeah.
we,
Well,
we almost
he
played better
should,
without the
but
fans.
unfortunately, this was something that we needed to cross. And I wish it did happen last year. It needed to happen last year. COVID fucked our shit up again because you knew when the fans came back that this shit was going to resurface because we know that we've lost fans. We know that they're not coming back. They don't need to tell us anymore. Just don't go.
Mm.
Don't go and enjoy the Sean Taylor Day. That's for the people who are still sticking around. That's for you and me now.
Yep,
And the other, the people who are supporting the team,
no
not
doubt.
for the not for the people who only care that we beat Dallas every year. Like, can we fucking get over that as well, please? You know, I like to beat Dallas, but we've ruined that rivalry by just turning that into the biggest game of the year. They don't
Yeah,
look at it like they don't look at it like that. They're coming into Washington going, oh, well, fuck. Like, they think this is the biggest game of the year. We've already played 15 biggest games of the fucking year. Let's go out
I
and
know.
fucking beat them,
I know,
you
and we
know?
lost them all. And they said, people like you said, say, "Oh, I don't care if we only win one game all year, as long as we beat Dallas." And it's like, well,
Oh, really?
imagine if we won all the other games and then lost to Dallas. Wouldn't you prefer that? You know,
Yeah.
like it'll suck. Be like, oh, Dallas is the only team that's beaten us, but would also mean that we've won fucking 15 games.
Yeah. And if
Yeah,
we play Dallas in the NFC Championship, we'll be shitting in our boots, but it'll be a fucking fun time. And
absolutely.
if we lost the game, like that's the that's the way it goes. It's the way it
Mm.
goes. Like God
You got to the
help us,
championship. Yeah.
God help us. I mean, I'm not going to let this fucking stress me out. Like I enjoy the shit. I know, um, the first 5 6 weeks of the season are all like, oh, they're 2-2, they're 2-3, they're 3-2, they're 0-4. It's not worth getting stressed over about. It's going to even out over the season, or it's not. You know, we're going to see that our team is needing some players. And unfortunately, we got fucking Kansas City Chiefs this week, who um, I want to say, this is a good opportunity for us because the slate's clean. Everyone's expecting us to get our fucking asses kicked,
Mm.
and the good thing is, if we do, we can say, well, you're right, yeah. But if we don't, you know, we can start building on it, and the fans that are there and the people who care will be excited about what's ahead. Not going to jump back onto the bandwagon because they heard that we beat the Chiefs, but then when we lose to the Dallas Cowboys in week 11, going to be fucking disappointed and blow all our buzzers when we're still in the playoff hunt. You
Yep.
know?
All right. We're going to
Yeah,
end this show.
I hear you.
Yeah. I know. Good little rant there at the end. Um, but yeah, I've exceeding my time that I wanted to be on tonight. So, good show anyway, and good luck with you five, and looking
Well, I
forward
mean,
to.
we'll try and get that production a little bit better for next weekend. But yeah, if we want to put the Crazies 5 out there, it has added some years to my life. I mean, I can't change those picks now. It's only Friday night, and we've got 48 hours until the game. But I'm crazy brave, and I'm willing to do that for everyone out there. They want their picks. They want them early. Thank you, Skinsfanatic. Been a good show.
Yep, we were going to do trivia tonight, but I'll save those for next week when R2's back. All right. Thanks you very much, Crazy Brave, and I'll see you next week.